Check, check.
Good morning to you from Ishøj Cricket Ground, where we have the second day of the Nordic Women's Cup. And today we are playing Finland versus Norway. And with me I have my counterpart in commentary. Yes, good morning, yes.
Yep. It's absolutely brilliant to be down here this morning, where Norway won the toss and chose to bowl, which makes a lot of sense because it is a very heavy outfield. There has been quite a dew overnight. Either that or the sprinklers from the football fields are blowing across the pitch. But that's an early boundary for Finland. Worked around the corner and ran away to the rope. No problem there. So there is a bit of a breeze this morning. It will help to dry out this outfield, but I can absolutely understand Norway's decision to bowl first. Try to get the most out of these conditions, see if they can get the ball swinging, which it should do. It's a little bit grey overhead, but it's reasonably warm, about 20 degrees. Certainly warm enough for the ball to be swinging around. And with the air being as heavy as it is, it should do. Good tight delivery there and on off stump. Worked away to point. Both teams were here bright and early. They have been warming up for a couple of hours now, being heavily drilled by their coaching staff, as both these teams lost their opening games yesterday to Germany and Sweden, respectively. This will be a grudge match between these two sides, even though it is the first time they are meeting officially in a T20I. Down the leg side, that will be wided by the umpire, I'm sure. The batters much more confident with their running than they were yesterday, pushing it through for a second. The umpires today, Saimi and Pizzada. Captain of Finland taking strike now, Mulipati. Facing up to a first ball and nudges it back down the pitch towards mid-on. Be interesting to see Finland's approach today, if it changes much from yesterday. That one well down the leg side, struck firmly, but well fielded at square leg. A slight mix-up between the batters, but no harm done. And that will bring an end to the first over here in Ishøj. It really is a wonderful setup here in Ishøj in Denmark, the outer suburbs of Copenhagen. The outfield really, really well maintained. Lots of bounce from the pitch yesterday, more than I was expecting. But some excellent nets and training facilities for the players. And it's all part of a larger complex, which includes football and tennis, karate, badminton. It's all here. It's a wonderful facility. The wicket-keeper marking where she would like to stand for the bowler and making some slight adjustments to the field. Very slingy action, but hooping well into line. Pushed away back down the pitch by the batter. Be interesting to see if she gets some away swing here. The keeper standing quite close. She'll do well to take a catch. That one down the leg side. The keeper gets across, and that'll be wided by the umpire. I'm not sure if you can see it on screen, but there is still quite heavy air here at the ground. That one back of a length and pushed out to point. That was one of the differences between the sides yesterday. If that had been Germany striking that ball out to point, they would have run with the shot and picked up a single there. It's a part of the Finnish game that will need to develop over time. But going back to how heavy the air is, even from our vantage point. Hooping away, lots of bounce. Well stopped by the keeper as that got up round her head. But if you look down towards the hedges at the far end, you can see a little bit of what appears to be drizzle. I can assure you it's not. It's just almost like we're playing in a cloud. Really slingy action. She appears to be swinging it straight. So pushing the ball well out to the leg side and then the ball swinging into position right in line with the stumps. I'd love to see her trying to pitch it more on that sort of middle and off stump line and looking more for the batter's outside edge. It's a little bit too easy there for the batters, just swinging into the legs. Bowler just losing her run.
Is it working? So they use different words. You know, they don't call it the same thing.
That one just clipped off the legs out towards the edge of the ring. Well picked up by the fielder out there, and the throw comes into the bowler's end. Finland that time making the most of the opportunity to run through for a single. And that brings an end to the second over.
So as far as I see, there's this code. Yeah, and then there's code down here. So what is what? Both combination, yeah.
Bit of sun starting to poke through here in Ishøj. I don't think it's going to make as much of a difference to drying up the outfield as this wind is. Certainly breezy to start this morning. Little fiddle outside off stump, but the keeper puts it down anyway. The wind blowing right to left as you see it on your screen. So it will be pushing the ball into the batter. Down the leg side, help round the corner and all the way to the rope. 4 runs down towards the practice nets. That came right out of the middle. There were times yesterday where the ball was holding up considerably as it got out towards the rope. So it might be that the batters have changed strategy a little bit in terms of how they approach their hitting this morning. That they know that it's a little bit heavy and a little bit wet, that they need to hit the ball a bit more firmly. It's another fiddle outside off stump. Credit where it's due for Finland this morning. They've made the most of the bad balls. because as you can see, when Norway get it right, it's very hard to get away. Again, a missed opportunity for Finland. That was struck right out to the edge of the ring. That should have been a single. These are the sorts of moments that did hurt Finland a little bit yesterday. If you were watching yesterday in their game against Germany, I said they probably left 15 to 20 runs out in the outfield by not pushing for those singles. This time she corrects. Struck exactly the same, out to the same fielder at point. This time they get through for the single, and the bowler remonstrating with the fielders, but that was always one there. But that is one of the changes that needs to take place in terms of the Finnish game. A little bit better backing up, a little bit harder running, a little bit more confidence to run on some of the weaker throws or some of the deeper fielders.
What are you missing? And no combination or anything.
That one keeping low. It's been an interesting AstroTurf, no question about that. It's had plenty of bounce in it. We've seen quite a few lifters, and for some of the slower bowlers, some real tennis ball bounce. But that last one, just skidding through. Again, down the leg side, through the hands, and that'll run away to the boundary, down towards the gymnasium. She's come out with purpose this morning. She scored 39 yesterday. But she's certainly getting her hands through the ball with more menace and power this morning. It wasn't an easy catch, but it did go through the hands at backward square. It was an interesting field position, actually, because backward square was a long way back behind square. It was almost like we were playing with two fine legs. If she'd taken the catch, you would have called it an absolute expert placement. Just overcorrecting there outside off stump, and that's a wide. The umpire stopped the bowler in a run. Certainly the bowler doesn't know why she was stopped. There's a few shrugs going on around the outfield. It might have actually been some spectators rolling down this morning, making a little bit of noise and putting the umpire off for a second. That one wide outside off stump, worked away behind point. And they will come back for two. This is better running from Finland. So here we have the bowler coming in again. That's a better line and length from her. Worked away again behind point. The batter's this time running with the shot. Had a little feedback that the audio was a little bit low. Hopefully we've corrected that for you now. So bowler runs in again. Again, swinging into line. Worked away easily into the leg side. That looked pretty adjacent. That certainly looked good from our end, behind the bowler's arm. Struck in line, and the captain will have to make her way back to the hutch. And it will be Stella Sheridan to make. She was warming up in the nets, so her batting partner was walking down towards the changing rooms, looking for her partner, wondering where she was, but she was coming from the other side of the field. It's nice to welcome you back onto comms, Mo.
Thanks, yes. Just trying to fix a few technical stuff here. I mean, when you do this by yourself and we're just two people, we're multitasking, right?
We've got a crew of thousands.
But a quick look at the replay, the wicket that fell.
Anything to grumble about at all? But Finland through to 21 for 1 on the back of 4 boundaries. It is a change in bowling for the Norwegian side. That one wide outside off stump. I've got a question for you, Mo, in terms of the weather here this morning and how thick the air is. Is this typical Danish weather?
Yes, it is. And once the sun comes out, then the outfield is going to dry up. I mean, we're at the end of August, and we got about 2 weeks of cricket left in Denmark. So most of the fixtures would probably be starting a little later, around 11ish. So you get enough sun coming out and then drying the outfield. But it's slightly overcast, but rays of sunlight coming through, which is quite welcome.
Yes, certainly very good facilities here in Ishøj. Just outside off, and she's done this a few times already this morning, having a fiddle outside off stump, not using her feet. So her feet staying planted exactly where they are, and then a whiff of the bat. Not an issue so much when she's striking those boundaries behind square, but outside off stump, you want to be getting across. That one flicked off the legs to mid-wicket. There was a single there all day long. Oh, Finland need to find some confidence with their running between the wickets. That one just ducking in. Big full toss. Helped well over the leg side. 1, 2 bounces into the rope. Just to clarify how the boundary works and how you might see it on camera today, there are 3 different boundaries in the outfield. They're all painted on, but the one that we're playing with is marked with cones, which is the middle of the 3 boundaries. Taking into consideration that slightly heavier outfield.
What you see on the screen now is the boundary line, the big one. And then there's one further down here, which is actually used for the men's cricket, and then further in is where you have the inner circle.
Yep, I used to listen to Inner Circle. Good band. Looks like we're going to get a second change.
The new bowler coming in is Vidya.
Yep. Oh, that's skied out to point where the fielder has made a little bit of a meal of that one. It should have been out. Stella is a little bit suspect. She likes to get her hands through the ball, but we've seen how much bounces in this wicket. And she skied a few yesterday. First ball this morning, she's done the same here. May need to find a way to adjust to that extra bounce. Not the tallest batter. Certainly difficult to get over the top, but just a change in strategy there needed, I think. Regardless, she's off the mark. Nobody wants a donut next to their name, certainly not myself. I had one on Sunday. Feathered one expertly through to the keeper. Oh, no, no, no. No. That definitely looked like it bounced in front of the bowler. Not so sure about that one, Mo. Did you see that one?
No, not from where we're standing.
It's been given caught and bowled, but my first assessment was that the ball itself certainly surprised me. Okay, yeah, legitimate. Can't believe I complained at all.
It was also right in front of the umpire, so we are at a distance. We're so far away by the boundary, right? So the umpire had a clear view of that. You had a slightly better view than I had because my angle of vision was just slightly at a different angle.
I simply can't believe it carried back. Like and the motion, the way that the bowler. And I was completely wrong. That is the gift of the replay, Mo. That's all you.
Thanks so much.
So really good catch, really good breakthrough. The Norwegians dislodging Finland's best batter into the pads. It'll run down towards fine leg. There was two there all day. Again, some circumspect running from Finland. You don't want to leave any runs out there on the park, do you?
No.
Every opportunity, you've got to make sure you convert, because this game comes down to very fine margins, and I expect this game between these two nations to be a close one. Did well there to sweep that around the corner, down towards fine leg. This time will she turn and come back for two? No. So
I think this is something that we discussed yesterday. Yes.
it's all we discussed yesterday. I was quite heated about it, wasn't I? But
it's about converting those ones into twos and twos into threes.
it is. I think I shouldn't be too harsh on Finland. You know, they are new to the international game. In fact, they're quite excited. Oh, again, there was one there. All right, well, that brings the total of runs they haven't run yet to 6.
It'll be interesting to see the tally at the end of the innings.
Yeah, I shouldn't be keeping a running total, but as I was saying, yeah, we shouldn't be too hard on Finland, given how new they are to international cricket. They are quite excited because at the end of this tournament, they would have played enough games to have gained an ICC world ranking for the first time. There's nothing like seeing your name up in lights.
Indeed. Couldn't agree more. So that's the end of the 6th over. Finland are 29 for 2. Stella on 2 and Ria on 1.
So a really good start from Norway. Not a lot of pace to speak of. Bowling mostly wicket to wicket. Little bit of a way swing. Finland, they've had a couple of lives. That one, definitely a bump ball this time. I'm sure the bowler would have appealed had she taken that one, but definitely struck firmly into the deck by Stella Sheridan. Up and over the offside. This time she's got plenty on it, and the fielders will chase it out to the boundary. They come back for 2, but again, there is another run there. There is a 3rd run there to be had.
Just an update from the other game happening in Albertslund, where Sweden play Denmark. Sweden are already 4 wickets down for 24 at the end of 6 overs there.
That is a really wonderful shot out up over the covers from Stella Sheridan, clearing the inner ring. The ball running all the way down to the rope. The umpire checking with the fielder as to whether or not that was a boundary. But this time, Finland completing the 3 runs, as they should have done the ball before. So it's good to see. I'd love to know who's got the wickets for Denmark against Sweden, because
it's Divya who's taken 3, given away 10 runs in her 3 overs, and Nita has taken a wicket in her over as well. So Sweden 4 wickets down for 24
and
in the 7th over.
We just watched a batter run almost all the way to the other end and back, and no run. Goodness me, that is some very conservative running between the wickets. They've got to take those singles. Full toss, struck firmly. So the batter there grounding her bat behind the line and then jumping over the ball. Change of the rules some years ago now. If you've grounded your bat behind the line, you're home, you're safe. Doesn't matter if you then jump up and over the ball. Whereas in the old days, it would have been out. But that was much better. Running with the shot, getting home. I want to see more of that from Finland. Well, it's certainly interesting, that other game. Everyone was expecting it to be a tight matchup between Denmark and Sweden, 2 good sides. But 4 early wickets for Sweden that'll hurt. One of their top order scored 78 yesterday on their way to, well, 175 plus, wasn't it, against Norway?
Yes.
Big full toss, and she's actually got that off the back of the bat, almost dragging it back onto her stumps, but it's rolling down here towards fine leg, and the batters get back for 2, which is good to see. Yes, Denmark knocking the top off the Swedish side. Be interesting to see how that game now plays out.
The 3 wickets that have fallen, the 3 wickets that Divya has taken, she's improved her game quite substantially over the last, say, 2-3 years. She's a good fast bowler, a Malinga kind of bowling action.
Yep, quite a slingy action, but she's quite accurate. Bowls a good Yorker. So some considerable chatter out in the middle between the captain and the bowler in regards to the field placements. We have no one back on the boundary, but the backwards square is about 2/3 of the way back towards the gymnasium back there. Ball just tapped on its head into the offside and no run. Yes, this bowler, Viella, has an interesting release. It's a real flick of her wrist sometimes. It generates that extra bounce, just pushing the ball hard into the wicket. You can see it there. Lifting outside off. When she gets her lines right, very hard to get away. That one a bit more floaty. Batter misses out there. There's a lot of noise today. There was a lot of noise on the team bus on the way in this morning. A lot of music, a lot of clapping. All the teams revved up for today's match play. It's continued here in the outfield. Norway being very vocal, more than I've ever seen them before. Finland, typically vocal from the sideline. That one well down leg side, a bit of a top edge. It's going to fly down towards that fielder who's backward of square, but didn't carry far enough to her to be caught, even though she's only 2/3 of the way back to the boundary. Full toss outside off stump, heaved over the offside. It's running down away towards the boundary. It won't go. It's a relay throw coming in, and you can hear the cries of 3 from the Finnish coaches. Again, there should have been 3 runs there. It was a weak throw from the boundary. There was no one telegraphing the ball back in. There was always time for 3. So another run missed out on there by Finland. This one's hit firmly down the ground, mid-off running in. Almost a collision as mid-on comes across. I think they definitely got in each other's eye line because there was no chance that catch was being taken. Long off running in, mid-off running across, mid-on running across. All 3 of those players congregating around the ball at the same time. You need a big loud call in those situations, the confidence to say that's mine, and to get your hands underneath it. So a missed opportunity for Norway. But once again, Stella Sheridan showing she's got the power, but with the extra bounce in this pitch, the ability to occasionally hit one straight up in the air.
That's the end of the 8th over. Finland are 40 for 2. Stella is on 11 and Ria is on 3.
Some changes again in the field as Norway brings everyone up inside the ring. So everyone is inside the 30-metre circle. Now they push point back. About halfway between the 30-metre circle and the boundary. That one forced away into the offside. Again, you would say if this was Germany batting, they would have run with the shot and completed the single. This time it's an outside edge.
In and out, in and out.
In and out. She had it for a second. She juggled it. She was on the run the whole time. Never got to settle under that ball. It bounced around in the hands before finding its way to the turf. And you would say now that Stella Sheridan has lost 3 of her 9 lives. If you were Norway, you wouldn't want to give her too many more, would you?
I wouldn't.
Full toss and clipped away into the leg side. There's a misfield there, but well backed up. Prevents the single. Yeah, how would you go about trying to coach the Finnish players to have a little bit more confidence between the wickets, or perhaps to understand that there's more time than they think in terms of getting to the other end?
I think it's about the mindset and how you basically plan before the game. I mean, a T20 is all about scoring runs at a quick pace. Dot balls are something that basically doesn't look good. It's about showing the intent and also putting pressure on the fielding side if you want to make these runs. So we've had a couple of dot balls up to now. That's the first one after those number of dot balls. That's not really helping.
That'll be a no ball. Struck high and handsome into the offside where the catch is taken, but it will be a no ball. No?
No, it's not a no ball, it's just given out.
Well, once again, can we see this on the replay, Mojo?
No,
because
didn't get that one.
I cannot believe that has been given out. That was well above the waist. I thought the batter completely entitled to swing high. I can't understand why that wasn't a no ball. So, yes, if we've got that on the replay. Through, oh man, well.
But it's also something that from our position here in the comms box, we would potentially see that as waist high, but the square leg umpire has a better view. So it could have been that for us from our position, it's in the air, but from a square leg perspective, it must have been dipping in.
You're friends with these umpires, aren't you?
Nah, not really. Not really.
Because I would have argued it was closer to shoulder high than waist high. That seemed really high from my vantage point. I am surprised that it wasn't no ball, but you're right. I wasn't in the best position to call it, and we don't have the replay this time for me to check it.
Sorry about that.
Don't worry. If you're watching at home, you have the advantage of YouTube and the ability to rewind slightly and make your own assessment on that one. I'm sure the comments will be 50-50 between the Norwegians and the Finns, I think, as to who was right about that one. But it's certainly another wicket to Norway. So Finland now 41 for 3.
Just an update from Albertslund. Sweden are 32 for 5 in their 10th over.
Well, they'll be very disappointed with that. But Denmark will be excited. Flick of the wrist. through the offside, and Stella Sheridan has been dropped for a 4th time. How many lives did we say she had?
I think it was 3 before.
Yeah, so 4 out of the 9 lives gone now. It was a pretty straightforward one, that one. That's straight to the fielder at chest height. This one dipping under the bat, outside off stump, unable to connect.
Big swing and a miss there.
I'm trying to see who's come out to join her in the middle because I don't see her on the team sheet.
It's Malyun.
Well, we've got her down as number 42, but she's wearing 37. That one down the leg side and it'll be wider by the umpire. Bowler not happy with herself. She wanders back to her mark. That is a really big wide. In fact, the umpire said that has not hit the turf or the playing surface, so it will be a no ball, which means that this will be a free hit. It's one of those quirky little laws in the game. Obviously, if the ball is wide, it's signalled wide, but if the ball doesn't actually touch the pitch, it's a no ball. So this is a free hit. Where's she going to put it? Straight down the ground. She's split mid-on and mid-off. A really good effort from mid-off, running across and extending herself fully to get a hand on that ball and knock it down. Definitely saved 2. The outfield much, much quicker down here towards our vantage point at the end of the ground. Some bare patches and some brown grass. The ball kicks on down here, while it does tend to slow up at the other end. Really good bit of fielding. Kumari it was. Got a hand on that. This is down the leg side and helped round the corner. This time running with the shot, and they'll get through for a single. So the new batter get to face her first ball. Doesn't a Yake. Down the leg side, help round the corner. An easy single to get off the mark. So we're bowling some pretty handy right arm medium pace in the nets this morning. Haven't seen her play for Finland before, but looks like a handy player that they've picked up. Just as the overhead conditions get a little gloomier here in Ishøj. Again down the leg side, gets away from the keeper. This time Sheridan pushing hard to come back, and that's running. So they've turned that into 3 runs as the umpire signals wide.
It's welcome runs on the board.
That brings up the 50 for Finland. They were in a pretty similar position coming up to drinks yesterday against Germany as well. 59 for 1 they were then. So they'll be pleased with that. Getting the 50 up before the drinks break. Down the leg side again, and it'll be another wide. Yes, I'm just looking off into the distance now in regards to the weather, and I'm seeing some trees starting to disappear behind some clouds. What does it say on the weather radar, Mo? Are we going to have some showers?
Just about looking it up now.
This one, again, down the leg side, a long way down. And they get the extra runs, so 2 runs to the total.
There's no rain on the way, so that part is cleared up. It's going to be cloudy for most of the day, with temperatures between 19 and 21. But now there's a little breeze coming through the comms box.
Yeah, little breeze. Jackets are on.
Jackets are on.
That's a better line and length, swinging away outside off stump. Batter couldn't help herself. But that is drinks here in Ishøj, with Finland 53 for 3. I think if we do the maths and we talk about some of the extra runs that they probably could have gotten this morning, they're about on par with where they were at yesterday when they were 59 for 1. So you would say, well, we talked yesterday about par score being about 120, which wouldn't have been enough against Germany, who came out, batted really powerfully and ran really well between the wickets. But today, if Finland can put 120 up on the board, it might be enough against Norway. They did struggle a bit against Sweden yesterday. And there's certainly some very good bowling amongst this Finnish side, especially the left armour Nguyen. She's got some real pace and movement. Makes her a real handful for any of the players at this level. I think there was a time trial going on there with the Finnish squad, whether or not just how quickly the players could get the drinks on to the batters and off again. There was a large celebration over there as the 12th man made their way back across the rope.
It's pretty much like the Formula 1 pit stop, where they come in and go out. So that was pretty fast, I would say.
It was pretty slick, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed. So drinks break is done. Finland are 53 for 3. Scoring just over 5 and over.
Again, Norway being very particular with their field placements. Wicketkeeper, bowler, captain, they're all involved here. They want everyone in exactly the right position. So we've got 2 players out, one at a long on and one at a deep mid wicket. Neither one all the way to the rope, probably 10 to 15 inside. This one worked around the corner. It gets past, short fine leg. The batters will come back for 2. That's better running from Finland. A little bit of a hold up and play again as the field is adjusted ever so slightly. Short fine leg quite close. And it almost carries to her off the back of the bat. If one hand, one bounce was the thing. That could have been a backyard wicket. Did you ever play that rule growing up, Mo? One hand, one bounce in the backyard?
Yes, I've done that, yes.
Well, she's played over the top of that one. It's cleaned up the stumps. And the zing bails have gone flying. So
We got
that's
the
another wicket for Norway.
we got the replay on that one. Yes.
So that will be disappointing for her as she makes her way back to the hutch. In the meantime, it's the left arm seamer I was just talking about, Nguyen, who makes her way out to join Stella Sheridan in the middle. These two both have plenty of power. They can hit a long ball. And they can find the rope. So this might be a key partnership in regards to what kind of total Finland can post this morning. Again, field changing with the left-hander on strike. She's got a long on and a deep square. Wicket-keeper wants to make sure cover is in exactly the right place. Bit flatter this time. Push towards that cover fielder and there's no run. That is very full outside off stump and push towards mid-off and there's no run. Lots of air and she's got heaps of that. Flying out towards square leg and the catch is taken. Huge celebration from the fielder. And fair enough too, that had plenty of air. She slid underneath it on her knees, took the catch. Got her hands to the ball and it's stuck even in these conditions. And that's a huge celebration from the Norwegians, and you can understand why. One of the real threats in this Finland batting lineup. She struck that so well. The fielder sliding under the ball on her knees, took the catch. And what a good one it was. So Finland now 56 for 5. Well, Mo, what did you think of that catch?
That was a really good one. Got right on it, took it clean and neat, no fumbles.
No, I think she surprised herself, didn't she?
I mean, as they say, catches win matches, and we've seen a couple of drops here already today.
Yeah, Stella Sheridan, if she'd hit that one, you know it wasn't getting taken.
Stella's still there.
Stella's still there. But Nguyen, she struck it so well, as good as any ball's been hit today, right out to square leg. It really was a good hit. The fielder did tremendously well to take that one.
A little update from Albertslund, where Sweden are now down 6 wickets for 51.
Misfield here. Short mid-on. Allows the batters to run through for a single.
Looks like Sweden is in all sorts of trouble there.
Yeah, they're going to need a big rearguard action if they're to trouble the Danes. Although Sweden are a very good bowling side. Denmark, of course, the defending champions of the Nordic T20. As that ball's forced out to point. And Stella Sheridan, wanting to play low-risk cricket when she's at the other end, declines the single. That's gone a long way up in the air, struck on the legs, but going down leg side, and never a chance, really. I've been told that the team sheet we've been given has some of the wrong player numbers on it. So I do apologise if we get some of the players wrong. Our point of reference might be wrong. But I believe the batter who has come out to join Sheridan is Minna Stolt, who did some very brave fielding yesterday. It took a few body blows. Has worked that away this time to mid-off, and this time they get the single off the mark.
That's the end of the 12th over. Finland are 58 for 5. The breaks have been put on the scoring.
It's amazing how wickets can do that, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. And the run rate is now under 5. So the bowlers are putting the pressure. There's 2 runs coming off that last over.
Yes, if you were to think about a minimum total that Finland would want on the board, it'd have to be 100 at least, wouldn't it? Give themselves something to bowl at.
Yeah. Now the projected score is dropping below 100. It's about 96 runs.
So they've got to find the boundary at some point. You'd say that that is on Stella Sheridan to swing the willow. She does have that power to do so. Stolt seems to me to be a bit more of a nerdler, pushing the ball into gaps and running hard. That one struck out to the edge of the ring. The ball comes into the bowler's end, but safely through for a single. Interesting to see now how Sheridan approaches this, with wickets having fallen at the other end. Well outside off and struck straight down the ground. Fielder getting under it. And that is the 5th of Sheridan's 9 lives. She will run out of them eventually. And it brings Stolt back on strike. This one well down leg side. Some pretty hopeful appealing there from some of the players. It's always the ones at square leg who get vocal about those ones. Absolutely no way of knowing if it's adjacent with the stumps.
Quite an interesting field setup here. If you look on the leg side.
Yes, they're in quite tight on the leg side. We've got a short fine leg, a square leg, a short mid wicket. Again, oh, well, she's been given out, but I personally thought she might have got a little bit of a bottom edge on that, and she's having a word with the umpire. It's a good thing we don't have match fees to lose, isn't it? So, be a bit rough if they went up the umpire. On that one.
It sounded so.
Yeah, it sounded woody, didn't it?
It sounded woody there.
Here on the ground, and the way that the batter responded when she was given out, it did seem like she got a little bottom edge into the pads there. But
Yeah,
not much you can do about it now, because the new batter already taking guard. And that was pretty straight.
And that's the end of the 13th over. Finland is 61 for 6. Mira Koyo is the new batter in.
Yeah, this is one of Finland's new players. She played her first international yesterday, right arm seam bowler. She's very young. I believe she turns 15 this week and has been granted special dispensation to play by the ICC because it was so close to her 15th birthday. It is Kumari who's going to continue here from the pavilion end. And that's been given a lot of air. Forced back down the pitch by Sheridan as she looks to go over the top yet again. In fairness, there's a little bit of space as mid-off is quite tight. There is a long on. But that is the only player outside the 30-metre circle. And this time she makes hay over the leg side, running out towards the boundary at Cow Corner. She got all of that one right out of the middle. And that's what Finland need, a few boundaries to push the score up towards that 100 mark. So again, Norway reacting to that and changing the field. So long on stays out, and now we have a woman at Cow Corner. Floated right up again. And it's bounced and then dropped back down onto the top of the stumps. So good ploy from the bowler, you'd have to say.
Stella doesn't seem to be too happy with that. She's having a chat with the umpire.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that as far as I was concerned.
It was a normal ball, I would say.
So Sheridan's lives have run out. She had 5 before she missed that one. It was a tricky one. It did seem to bounce up and over and then down onto the top of the stumps.
For her benefit, I'll just put the replay again so that she can. So that was a
clean bowled.
Clean bowled.
Well done to Kamari. Trying to force it away outside off there.
I think it would help them if they leaned into the shot, moved their feet a little bit.
Again, just trying to force it through the offside.
And that's the end of 14 overs. Finland is 65 for 7.
Well, they're going to need the tail to wag if they're going to push up towards 3 figures.
Yeah, they're scoring just under 5. So they need to step up on that one.
Well, this is a chance for some of the young guns in this Finnish side, Mira and Mari, to put a partnership together and show that they're ready for the big time of international cricket here against Norway.
Just an update from the game between Sweden and Denmark. Sweden are 61 for 6 in their 16th over.
And that has been put down yet again in the outfield by Norway. So the coaches will be giving them plenty of catching practice this afternoon. That wasn't a hard one. Just forced off the back foot into the offside. Looped up as cover came running around, but she couldn't cling on to it. This one struck on the pad. I did think that was going down leg side from behind, but it's been given by the umpire, so he must have thought it was hitting legs. It certainly got the Norwegians excited on the sideline. Some of their fans have come down to spend the morning with us. So, once again, we will find out what the depth is like in this Finnish batting lineup as the Norwegian fielders get ever closer in around the bat. Tossed up and goes through it. Huge celebrations from the Norwegians as the middle stump lies on the ground. And the Zing Bales, they told the story.
So 9 wickets down for Finland.
Well, hat-trick ball. National T20I hat-trick. You know this is going to be straight. You know this is going to be full. Can she keep it out? Stumps down at this end have been splattered so many times in the last couple of days that the umpires are having trouble keeping them in. You're going to have to run out into the middle mow with some sawdust or something. Fill in the holes.
Fill in the holes, yes.
So, Bandani facing up to this hat-trick ball. Just off the gloves and into the leg side. And I can tell you, there was no shortage of fielders because they're all about 10 metres from the bat.
It's quite busy out there.
It's like a bus stop. There it is. Full and under the bat. And that will be the end of the Finnish innings. 3 wickets in the over. And Finland all out for 66.
Missed that hat-trick there.
So Norway came roaring back into this game. Since drinks, Finland have lost 7 wickets for the addition of only 10 runs. So they'll be incredibly disappointed with that. But there's absolutely no question that the credit goes to Norway, who bowled incredibly well coming back after drinks. Must have been a Barocca in there. Well, it'll give the wagtails a little bit more time to run around the outfield and pick up the bugs and give us a chance to get a drink and stretch our legs as we wait for Norway to come out and try and knock this total off. It'll be a lot less than Finland would have been hoping for, but we do know that Norway didn't have a great day with the bat yesterday against Sweden, and that Finland do have some good bowlers in their attack. So early wickets, you never know what could happen.
Pick up the bowlers, Mirab, Razwan taking 6. A 6er instead of a 5er.
Well, was it 6 for 7? Tremendous figures.
And just the summary of the innings so far. Finland all out in less than 15 overs, 66. They scored. Stella Sheridan taking 24. And
Well,
Unali scoring 21. Pick of the bowlers has been Marab.
You've got to wonder, don't you, if Sheridan hadn't had those 5 lives, if they'd picked her up a little bit earlier, you know, maybe Norway could have had Finland out for an even lower score, which wouldn't have been good, but still 6 for 7. Those are just some tremendous bowling figures. They'd be right up there with some of the best ever in women's T20 internationals. So you might see that name on a graphic, on a TV graphic one day.
Definitely. I mean, it was good bowling, and the enthusiasm that we saw on the field from the fielders was also quite encouraging, I would say.
Yeah, lots of good energy. Maybe not the tightest of hands, but
lots of drop catches. But I think they still made up for that.
Well, you can't argue, can you? 66 all out.
66 all out. Just an update from Albertslund, where Sweden played Denmark. Sweden are 76 for 6 in their 18th over. So they haven't lost any wickets since the last update. But
they're doing well there to keep their innings together and to try and post something to bowl at.
Yeah, they're scoring about 4 runs and over, so the projected score is approximately 86, 90. That's the range that we'll probably be looking at. But for now, we will take a short break and then come back when the next innings is about to start in about maybe 10 minutes or so. So until then, go grab some snacks and drinks, and we'll be back soon. Welcome back to Ishøj Cricket Ground, where Norway is going to start their innings. Norway needs 67 from their 20 overs.
Yep, just the 67. An absolutely superb bowling performance from Murab Rizwan. She took 6 for 7. Sparkling figures from her. Bowled full and straight. Mopped up the tail. Finland collapsing. I believe they were 56 for 3 at drinks. So, very disappointing for them. But it's going to be Divya to open the bowling for Finland, bowling her off spinners. And that one drifts down the leg side as she comes through the gate to deliver that round the wicket to the right-hander. Looks to be Anushka Gurad who is on strike. This time correcting an outside off. Nice bit of fielding at short cover. Too much chat there in the outfield while the bowler's running in. This one forced off the back foot into the offside, and the bowler collects it off her own bowling. Very full outside off and struck to mid-off. Total miscommunication between the batters. But if there was ever a sign that there is a single there running with the shot, it's that she had the time to make her ground there. It was close, but she got there. Murab Sajjad running eventually hard from the bowler's end. Very, very slow to react to her partner's call. Full and on the legs and clipped away fine for a single. That was good running from Norway, running with the shot. Straight to the fielder, but time to get through. So both openers off the mark.
A little update from the other game. Sweden have 94 for 9 in their 20 overs.
Big appeal here in Ishøj, but never looked out. Well, that's a really good recovery. Puts them in the game. This forced through the offside, and looks like it's the youngster Mari who's picked it up. And that is the end of the first over.
Norway at 3 for no loss. 64 runs needed.
Doing a little bit of research on Rizwan, the destroyer. 6 for 7. I'll come back to that. Nguyen rightfully opening the bowling today. The left arm seamer. Coming off the short run. And it's a no ball, which will upset a no end because I'm sure that's a part of why she's shortened her run up, trying to find her rhythm and trying to find her feet. And even off the shorter run there, bowling a no ball first up, adjusts her run. That's well down the leg side, so the next ball will be a free hit as well. Looks like she's going to shorten her run even further. Pitches it up, high on the bat, forced into the offside, and no run off that free hit. So it looks like she's trying to find her line and length. I'd love to see her just charging off her full run, and if it's not right, it's not right. That looks adjacent. Probably pitching outside with the left armer bowling to the right-hander. I'd be wanting to wear a helmet being that close. Forced into the offside. Fielder's diving and sliding all over the place. Got through 3 of them. It's finally been recovered and the batters will come back for a very well run too. I would like to see Nguyen go back to her full run up and full pace because she is a very dangerous bowler. They need her firing if they're going to stop Norway from running down this pretty small total. That one goes past the outside edge. Hope she gets a little bit of confidence from that and thinks about extending that run. Just checks herself again. Very full this time, inside edge onto the pads. A lot of excitement from the game still. This one well down the leg side. And she must have got a little tickle on it through to the keeper. So incredibly unlucky for the Norwegians because it wasn't a great ball. Well down the leg side. And she must have just caught up with it with the back of the bat or something like that. Wow. It was one I bet she wishes she just left clean alone. So, a bit of success for Nguyen, even off the incredibly short run. It's like watching Sobers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Deciding between bowling seam or spin on the day. So the new batter comes out to the middle where Divya will continue. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Razwan, the bowler from Norway, who took 6 for 7 today. That's a great shot over the leg side, and that will run out to the boundary for 4. But yes, Razwan said that she's always enjoyed watching cricket, and when she found out that there was cricket in Norway, she joined a club straight away. At first, she was just excited to be playing the sport she'd seen on TV, but as she learned a little bit more about the game and training, the club gave her an excellent chance to meet new people and to share her passion for cricket. She says she really enjoys the teamwork and the discipline and the importance of practice, which I think she showed today in taking 6 for 7, which are just truly remarkable figures. So well done to Razwan. Defended there, back down the pitch. by Kumari. Forced into the offside. But the Finnish fielders are in extremely tight around the bat. There is no one outside the 30-metre circle, and I can understand that with such a low total on the board. So that's been struck on the pad. They've run through. It's not a great throw coming into the keeper, and they come through for what I assume will be a leg bye.
Umpire is now calling it. Oh no, yes, it's a leg bye.
Yeah, definitely hit her on the pad. No, just not a very clean pick up and throw from the fielder there at Gully. Forced into the offside, and again there's a real hustle towards the ball. Almost a terrible look of disappointment from all of the fielders who didn't get to touch the ball. It's like the four of us are going to run at the ball and, oh, she got it. that was the attitude just then. It's good to see. That's what you want. That's what you want from the fielders inside the ring, the terrier mentality, that desire for the ball. Only have eyes for the ball, to want it all the time. If you want the ball to come to you, it eventually will. You'll get your moment. And you get a chance to make a difference in the outfield by making a play, stopping a run, making a run out, and taking a catch. Nguyen is going to continue from this pavilion end. She's also going to continue off the short run. It's quite loopy, high on the bat. It's popped out into the onside, where Stolt runs around, gets the throw coming in. There's almost a collision. Oh, I'm not exactly certain what happened there. It looked like there was a wonderful pick-up, turn and throw from one of the other fielders inside the inner ring, and it's collected Nguyen, I think, just in the middle of the shin or possibly on the knee. It sounded.
Actually, on the knee and just below the knee on the shin. The physio coming out to.
It's amazing how quickly they get the colds.
That's quite painful, I would say.
Yeah, it's not the best of strategies, is it?
No.
We've seen a bit of that from the Finns. They've been hard as nails in the field, putting their bodies on the line and getting hit repeatedly. Stolt, who's chasing the ball out towards the boundary currently. She took one in the shin yesterday. Really, really hard. She just gave it a rub. No cold spray for her.
Yeah, that really hurt yesterday. I mean, sitting in the comms box,
Yeah, it hurt watching it, didn't
really
it?
felt that.
Didn't bother her. She just carried on. So Nguyen going to continue again from this pavilion end as a bit of sun breaks through the cloud. Short into the pitch, and really good piece of fielding in close at short mid-wicket. That was struck firmly, and Divya picked it up on the bounce. As good as anyone playing cricket today. This one down the leg side, and Sheridan gets behind it, but it will be a wide. Full outside off stump and left alone. The batter looking at the umpire as if to suggest that was a wide, Mr. Umpire, but I don't think so. And again the umpire has warned the keeper, Sheridan, for talking while the bowler's running in. Short and into the pitch, struck through the leg side, and again it's going to be a chase for the fielders out there. Looks like it's Kulla who's tracked it down, and Divya has made the relay. It's come in hard at the bowler's end, despite the fact that the batters were no longer running, so Nguyen's done well not to pick up a finger injury or something unfortunate in that little melee. Somebody called over, but it looks like there's going to be one more ball.
Well, the scorecard says two left in this over.
A little bit of extra bounce again over the top of the blade and through to the keeper. Jammed into the deck and struck into the leg side, where Stolt picks it up and fires it back to the keeper. Good quick cricket. And that will be the end of the over.
That is the end of the over. 4 overs done. Norway 20 for 1. Need another 47 from their 16 overs. Not too much of pressure for the batters. Just need to score 3 runs and over. Under 3 runs and over. At this stage, Finland were 21 for 1. So Norway just a run behind. So it's Divya still continuing from the football field end.
Just forced off the back foot back down towards mid-on, where the bowler does the fielding off her own bowling. Flatter this time and struck towards mid-off, where again, I think it's Kulla who's come across. Cut that off, no run. This is what Finland have to do. They have to get some dot balls in a row, try and put some pressure on these Norwegian batters. Tossed up again, struck out up over the offside. Mira doing a wonderful job to bat that down with one hand. Probably saved a couple of runs there. Lots of support from her fellow fielders. They recognise what a good piece of fielding that was. Flatter again, struck on the pad, but I think
The batter was down the leg side.
yeah, the batter was a long way down the leg side.
Giving it a go with the appeal.
There's certainly plenty of energy out there. This one tossed right up, high on the bat. Hit out into the leg side, where again, Stolt has work to do.
She's in the action today.
She's in the action yesterday too. Doesn't seem to matter where they put her.
As they say, sometimes you try to hide fielders and then the ball follows them everywhere.
Yeah.
So this time round, but she's a good fielder.
Flat again, outside off, through to the keeper, and struck the keeper on her pads and bounced away, but no chance of a single, and that will bring us to the end of the over.
Norway 22 for 1. Need another
So
45.
things are happening slowly here, but if Finland are any chance, they're going to have to take wickets. They're going to have to find a way.
An update from Albertslund. Denmark have started out. They are 7 for no loss at the end of the first over. They need another 88 from 114 balls.
Nguyen checking her field here, making sure everyone's where she wants them. Still off this short run. Fired into the deck. Struck on the pad, but really, really high. There's going to be words here between the umpire and the wicketkeeper once again, because Sheridan remonstrating and saying no way. Struck into the leg side where a good throw has come in. I think the fielder could have attacked the ball and tried to make the catch, so probably missed out there, but a really good pick up and throw right in over the top of the bails, where the bowler then took the ball, smashed the stumps, thinking there was a chance of a run out only. Stumps to stick into the ground here at the pavilion end. But yes, Sheridan might find it.
The keeper definitely thought that there was some contact with the bat, but from the replay it looks like it just went through.
So that has been struck, and again, it's probably one a fielder could have attacked and tried to catch, but it's a double relay throw and a really slick bit of keeping, but it's not going to be out. It's like being at the MCG in the old days with the double relay throw all the way from the long. Stumps, and Sheridan did a really good job of whipping the bails off, but the batters made their ground. This one jammed into the deck and down the leg side, and that'll be wide.
No extras to the board.
I hope Nguyen's not injured. If she's not injured, and this is a case of her having issues with her run-up, I think with such a low score on the board, I'd much rather see her just charging in and trying to bowl as fast as she possibly can. Big mix-up between the batters, and they've missed the opportunity there, the Finns. Throw went to the wrong end. The keeper couldn't gather it. She couldn't relay it to the bowler's end, and in the end, no harm, no foul, I guess. That was some harem-scarum cricket. Norway just need to keep their heads, push the ball into gaps. They'll win this easily. They just have to keep wickets in hand. Oh, a lovely bit of fielding there. Close in on the offside. Fielder putting her body on the line. We've got her name down wrong on the team sheet, but I've heard a few people call her Manu. So well done. That's really wide outside off stump, so that will be a no ball, and therefore a free hit for the batter. We did see Nguyen take a nasty blow in the knee and get the cold spray last over, so I hope she's all right. Free hit, big swing outside off stump. The best line and length ball of the over, and it was the free hit, so no runs scored there. And once again, the umpire has had to stop because Sheridan is talking while the bowler's running in. Full, a little inside edge into the leg side. The striker wanted to take off, but turned back by her partner. And that will be the end of the over. And once again, the umpire signalling to the Finns that they need to be quiet while the bowler is running in. Now they're very excited out there in the middle.
No, we are 30 for 1 at the end of 6 overs.
We are going to see a change in bowling. It is Manu who's going to come on from the football end. We really need to rename that end of the ground, Mojo.
Maybe the next time round.
Next time round. So saw her warming up earlier today in the nets, bowling some very serviceable right arm medium pace, getting the ball to swing away. So given that Nguyen was coming off the short run, this will be as fast as we've seen today. There it is, jammed into the deck. Ball tapped on its head, out to point, and no run taken.
Is it working? No. I can take it.
So Manu now running in. Jammed into the deck, bottom edge, down into the deck. Some chimes of Seven Nation Army out there in the outfield from the fielders. They did have that one going on the bus this morning on the way to the ground. Nice bit of bowling there, wicket to wicket.
Good action and good movement of the seam as well.
Yep. No, she looked really good in the nets earlier. That one is wide. So just checking her run again. Adjusting her run up slightly. Into the leg side. And it's Stolt who's going to be chasing it out to the rope. Really good chase. She's done her best to cut it off, but that's 4 runs. It was a tremendous chase. Just couldn't quite reel it in. Ground does seem to slope downhill slightly on that side, down towards the practice nets. It does seem like the ball will run away from you down in that area. Oh, and that's Boulder. Just nipping in off the seam, back through the gate, and it's clip leg stump. The off bail still on, it only just clipped leg stump. Really, really good from Manu, the bowler there. But otherwise, she's been hard to score off. So Ayesha Hassan comes out to the wicket. She's wearing number 9, taking guard. And fired wide outside off. So when she gets it on target, she's a real threat. But she'd want to eliminate these looser deliveries from a game. Just into the pads there, worked away into the leg side where Nguyen is standing in really close. No chance of a single at all, and that will be the end of the over.
So Norway are 36 for 2 at the end of 7 overs. Need another 31 from the 13 remaining overs.
Yeah, there's no question that they're going to have to tidy up those extras if they're to have any hope of stopping Norway from knocking these off.
Update from Albertslund. Denmark are 16 for 1 in their 4th over. Maria Lyngby Carlsen was the wicket to fall. Tina Eriksson and Anna Ostergaard are at the crease there. Denmark needs 79 from 97.
So, slow start there from Denmark against the Swedish bowling attack, which is a good one. I'm sure Denmark will have a real strategy about how to go about what is a difficult middling total. Sweden doing so well to recover to score 96. That's a catch. It's hit high on the bat. And it's Nguyen in close, really close. At short cover on the offside, who stayed down on her knees and taken a really good grass cutter of a catch. Tremendous, tremendous catch. She's so lucky it came off the top part of the bat, not out of the middle though. Putting her body on the line. And that is a wicket for the new bowler, Bandani. What a breakthrough.
Lots of noise in the field.
Yeah, Finland aren't short of a chant. they've got a few, it seems. But they haven't been overawed at all. You know, they got knocked over for a small total today after a pretty bad collapse. But they haven't let it dent their enthusiasm at all. At no point have they hung their heads. They've said, you know, we're here to play. We want those world ranking points. And we're going to play hard. So plenty of chat in the field, plenty of energy. And now, even with only 30 to get, Finland putting a lot of pressure on Norway. Batter taking her time to get settled and take a guard. She's not going to be rushed by the Finns. Down leg side, and that'll be a wide.
I say well left. Unlike
tactical.
Tactical, yes, indeed. Not fishing on that wide ball going down leg.
This one's outside off, and it's Nguyen again, who is in so close there at short cover. Gets across on her knees and makes the save. Absolutely no chance of a run. Big appeal, but I don't think they'll give that.
Umpire saying it's going down the leg side.
Yeah, it looked to be, didn't it? Forces that through with a little... And that's a tremendous hit out through mid-wicket. She got that right out of the screws. So the fact that Finland persisting with having all of their fielders inside the inner ring means that there's no one out sweeping to cut off a boundary like that one. So once she cleared the fielders on the inside, straight to the boundary. Really, really good shot. Lots of power in that one. Hooped up into the offside. Nguyen gets another catch. Unbelievable. High on the bat. What a crazy over. First she struck for 4, only to produce a wicket. Then she struck for 4, only to produce a wicket. Unbelievable stuff. So Finland are still in this game. Can you believe it, Mojo?
They're still there, indeed. But it was an incredible catch, I would say.
She's in so close. She's putting so much risk on herself. But once again, like, just so fortunate that the ball's not coming off the middle of the blade. The extra bounce in the pitch, both times. High up on the blade, no power in the shot. And just hooping and looping to Nguyen in there, close at short cover. And she must have upset someone, because here comes the Army helicopter. So the new batter comes out to the crease. It is Aslam. Looped up on the stumps and inside edge out to the leg side and picked up by Mira at short fine leg. So the over comes to a close. Norway 42 for 4. Do you think there's any panic going through the Norwegian camp right now, Mojo?
They seem to be in a very good position. They just need another 25 runs. But again, if Finland take quite a few wickets, quick wickets, then it could go the other way.
And here's Manu continuing from that football end that we need to rename. Wicket to wicket. Pushed out into the offside. I think one more wicket by Finland and Norway could get the wobbles. That one ducking in, kept out. But the footwork a little lacking, and didn't Finland notice? They're right up for this. Again, angling in.
Very good ball there.
A little bit of extra bounce. Sees it goes well over the top of the stumps. The batter asking her partner, did you see what that did? This one fired well down the leg side this time, so another single to the total.
The breeze is also sort of helping the ball swing a little bit more than needed. That's what we can see on the screen as well.
Yes, the wind blowing right to left. She's hit it straight back to the bowler, who's taken an amazing one-handed grab. She just stuck out the big mitt and it stuck. Well, and then the Statue of Liberty celebration to boot. Well, the cat now is truly amongst the pigeons.
So big welcome to Mirab Aswan, who took 6 wickets.
Wow, she won't want to lose this one. 6 for 7, an absolutely impeccable bowling performance, one of the all-time greats. Certainly. Oh, flight it up. Kept out. So she's pulled her pace right back. She's decided to bowl some slower deliveries. Some chat there between the keeper and the batter. That's a little bit flatter. So she's mixing it up. Really, really good over from Manu, but what about that catch?
It was super catch there. Norway are 43 for 5 at the end of 9 overs. Still need another 24.
Well, from a Norwegian perspective, there might be 24 of the hardest runs. That could be the difference today. It's going to be Bandani to continue. And once again, the umpire is telling the keeper off for talking while the bowler's running in. And she's still talking. Here we go. Looped up on the stumps. Pushed into the leg side where Divya does the fielding. This one down leg side. And it's Stolt scurrying after it down there at backward square. Looks like the batters are going to come back for 2. Aslam getting that one around the corner. And that was pretty wide outside off and signalled as such by the umpire. These extras will be hurting Finland. They don't want to be giving away any if they're defending such a small total. This one's on target and Stolt runs around, gets the throw into the bowler's end, and they complete a single. Good to see Razwan taking her time, taking her guard, in no hurry. Forced her through. No, that's going to be another wide. Just trying to find a little extra pace, but she's pushed it through outside off stump. This one's on target, struck on the pad. It looks pretty adjacent and the umpire's turned her down. Well, well, well. That looked pretty good. Sure, it was going down leg side, but but that's me. I mean, we're at this angle, aren't we? You know, just off centre. The umpire's got the best eyes in the house, but it must have been close. This one's going to drift down leg side as well. So Razwan playing the smart game, just stepping inside those ones going down leg side. Happy to take those extra runs. Playing some smart cricket. Oh, it's struck in the air and just over the top of Nguyen. The throw comes into the bowler's end, and she, oh, if it had hit, she was gone. If it had hit, she was gone. But it was Nguyen who got out the Air Jordans. She was ready for another catch at short cover. Only got over the top of her by about a foot. Now she's adjusting the field around her, trying to bring them in closer. But yes, it was a shy at the sticks at the bowler's end. Looked like it was Kulla. Did not miss by much. This one tapped into the leg side. That was the exact kind of ball that Razwan was stepping inside of and letting go down the leg side to pick up the extra wide. So, the end of the over.
It's the drinks break.
So there'll be some information coming out to the batters, courtesy of their 12th man, no question about that. Be interesting to see if Finland have a team talk. Certainly none of their coaching staff coming onto the paddock. So any messages from them will have come via the subfielders.
A quick run through the scorecard. Gorad taking 10 runs off 18 balls, and Kumari 12 from 19. So those two put on quite a few runs in the partnership there. Norway still need another 16 from the remaining 10 overs. The bowling scorecard. Farah taking 2 for 7, and Bandari 2 for 14, and Yugen 1 for 19.
In terms of the Finnish innings, this was the turning point. They lost, I think it was 7 wickets for 10 runs after the drinks break.
Yeah, at the halfway point they were 53 for 3. Norway is 51 for 5. So Norway behind by 2 runs and having lost 2 more wickets than.
So we have to see if the
Finland were.
lower order for Norway has a little bit more steel about it than Finland did. That one online and tap down into the offside. They might just try to block this over out. Devi is pretty accurate.
Update from Albertslund. Denmark got 3 down for 33 in the 8th over. They need another 62 runs from 74 balls.
So relying on the middle and lower order to get them over the line there.
It's Line Leisner and Line Østergaard. 2 very good batters who are now in the middle for Denmark.
They're power players. This one tossed up and into the leg side where Nguyen again is quick to get down and stop that ball. Tossed up on off. Bit of a flick and a miss. Certainly no rush from the Norwegian perspective. They've got plenty of time to play out overs like this one and go after different bowlers. Flatter delivery, defended well.
I mean, they have wickets in hand and they've got overs in hand as well, so no real rush. So as you said, yes, it's about going through the overs.
Flatter again, well defended again. Little battle within a battle there.
Made an over, something that's quite important in a T20 game. Norway are 51 for 5 after 11 overs.
It's going to be another change in the bowling as the captain brings herself on from the pavilion end. Mulapati bowls right arm mediums. She doesn't always pull through her action with her front arm particularly well. Sometimes she floats it up a bit, but when she gets through her action properly, she's in and around that off-stump region, just nipping it away. Nguyen has not moved, still at short cover. And she definitely didn't follow through on that delivery. She took all of the pace off of that one. Nguyen threatening to stand just a metre from the bat there. Some good humour. pushed through a bit more this time and the keeper's missed it, but she got enough on it to knock it into the deck, and it's been recovered by the player running around from gully. On target. Divya in close as well at a short mid-wicket. Not as close as Nguyen, and you'd understand why, being on the leg side. You don't want to get one in the teeth. And this time the wicket-keeper has put the bowler off by talking. Under edge. Straight down. Some light sledging taking place out there in the middle. Some words for the batter. Asking her what she's got. This one very, very full. A little nod from the umpire. So you'd have to say a little top edge.
Let's try to see if we got that on the replay.
I didn't see a big deviation. My feeling... And the batter looked incredibly guilty too. Certainly wasn't standing around to suggest otherwise. So I think we say legitimate nick, and a good decision by the umpire there. Good take by Sheridan too, because it did seem to pop up a little bit. So the breakthrough comes courtesy of the captain, and now Norway 6 down. But with how many more runs to get? That is the big question. Do Finland have enough?
60 needed from 8.1 overs. They just need 2 runs, just 2 runs and over to get to that target. Scoring at 4.
Really good pick up and throw from Divya in close on the leg side. Batter was looking to take off, but no chance to get off the mark, and that brings to an end a very successful over from the captain. Norway 51 for 6.
No runs off that over as well. Very tight over.
So a couple of maidens in a row makes all the difference. Putting those dots together. So I assume Divya has bowled out. So Manu's going to come back into the attack from the football end. I think that was the umpire stopping the bowler for talking again. Not the bowler talking, but someone in the field. Wasn't the keeper for a change. This is fired wide, and it's been given a no ball. It's right off the strip. So that was a loose one. She didn't seem to run in all that hard that time to the crease, so she might have lost a bit of rhythm.
She's reduced to run up even further, just walking in more or less.
That one just cleared the top of the stumps.
And Briswan wasn't even moving back into the crease. So that could have been a chance of a stumping. Just didn't even bother to put the bat back in.
So that one is right on the money. Struck hard into the deck. It bounces up to Nguyen at short mid-wicket. A lot of chat still amongst the Finnish players. They absolutely believe they can win this. Darted in, high into the hips and off the gloves, out to square leg. Bandani picks it up and gets it back to the bowler. It's a while since we've had a run off the bat. Darted in, but wide. You have to give it to Razwan. She is playing this cool as a cucumber. She's not getting overawed at all. She's just letting the runs accumulate however they come, and just making sure she maintains her wicket. It's good heady cricket. Pushed into the offside, no run. That one is full and struck firmly out into the leg side. It wasn't a whole heck of a long way away from Nguyen and close at short mid wicket though. She threw her hand out, but it's Stolt who's cleaned up in the outfield and kept it to a single. Floated right up and saved in close by Nguyen, who's put her body on the line to save a few runs today in close.
So that's the end of 13 overs. Norway 54 for 6. They need another 13 from 7 overs. At this stage, Finland were 61 for 6. So Norway behind, but no pressure. They've got enough overs and wickets in hand to play it out.
Mulapati continuing. Oh, under edge. Bit of a nutmeg between the legs and running down to fine leg. Some considerable encouragement from the sidelines, the Norwegian team, asking Razwan to make her ground in a more timely fashion.
Exactly.
Very, very straight, struck on the thigh. Turned down by the umpire, but worthy of a shout. It certainly wasn't going over the top. This time she's cleaned her up. That one didn't bounce, not nearly as much as we've seen all day. Just hitting the stumps slightly below the base of middle and leg, in fact. So the lower order of Norway will be tested.
There's no movement of feet from the batter at all. I think that would have made some difference.
Yeah. If it had bounced like it had done most of the last 2 days, I think she would have had a much better chance of connecting. That one did stay down a bit. Possibly not the right shot playing across the line when it's adjacent like that.
A little bit of breeze blowing through the comps box.
Yes, it's switched around now, blowing left to right across your screen. And I don't know what that means in Danish terms, but it's a lot cooler than the other breeze.
Indeed.
So it's a bit nippy. But it's Viala who's come out to join Razwan in the middle. She's taking guard, making sure she's set before facing up. Struck on the pad, it looked pretty good. Oh, the umpire was quick to shake his head. Big smile on the face of the captain. Struck firmly into the leg side, picked up by mid-on. Throw comes in at the bowler's end, and that is out. Really, really good bit of fielding from Manu. She picks herself up off the turf. Huge high fives and high tens being thrown around in that Finnish group. Look at them. Absolutely cock-a-hoop. And we're getting a little bit of synchronized dancing as well. All the moves coming out. Got the ball in really quickly. Good flat throw right above the stumps. Mullapati did exactly what she needed. Fielding. And so Razwan back on strike. She's watched all the carnage from the other end and defends it out into the leg side where Divya picks it up. So that will be the end of the over, which means the new batter, Kumari, will be on strike. Be interesting to see who's going to bowl this one for Finland. Exactly who they've got left in the attack. Seems to be a real meeting of the minds out in the middle while they decide just exactly who's going to take this over. They don't have many runs to play with, but then Norway don't have many wickets left. This one's come right down to the wire. Just goes to show, doesn't it, Mojo? You don't need a 300 versus 300 game.
No, you don't need it. But it's good cricket all around here. I mean, Finland slowly coming back into this game.
Looks like Rhea Kulla is going to come into the attack from the football end. Forced through the offside behind point, and there's a chase for the fielder. I don't think Norway are going to risk a second. Kumari sent back by Razwan. Razwan's the one who has shown the cool head throughout the last few overs. Even with wickets tumbling all around her, she's just continued to defend and to push the ball. She's not in a hurry. This one right off the toe end of the bat through backward point. It's rolling out quite a lot further, so they should get two here. Ball has been reeled in, but 2 runs to the total. 2 runs closer to victory.
Another 9 needed for Norway to win this game. But they just have 2 wickets in hand. So Finland really working hard on this one.
Defensive prod. Outside off stump, the ball straight through to the keeper.
An update from Albertslund where Denmark are 49 for 5.
Oh dear.
In their 12th over. Lena Ostergaard and Nita Delgaard are at the crease right now.
Oh, they're lucky they've got that long batting lineup, the Danes, because I'm sure they're not happy about being 5 down.
Still need 46 from 51.
Well, this is an interesting piece of play from Razwan. She came walking down the pitch to defend that one. I know I said she was a little bit Gordon Greenwich earlier. I stick by that. Pushed into the offside, into the gap. And they've decided to take off. The throw comes into the keeper's end. She has not slid her bat at all. And that means she is gone. It may be that the keeper, in producing that dismissal, has done herself a mischief. She looks pretty uncomfortable. Have to watch that replay again.
to show much on that replay.
No, maybe it's just tightening up or a hamstring or something that's happened after the play. A little knot. It might actually be that she's caught one of the bails in the face or something like that. She's now asking for a something happened. It might have actually been when she was celebrating. So
But then now they're having a change of keepers as well.
yeah, she's definitely hobbling off. It's definitely an ankle, I think, that she's done there. So it didn't look like it happened during the course of making the dismissal. So I'm guessing it happened when she was celebrating. So maybe a little overzealous there. She's been carried off the field now by one of the coaching staff. It's one of the bonuses when you're a wee player. So let's put this game into perspective. Finland scored 66, just 66, after a terrible collapse through their middle and lower order. Norway would have been very confident of knocking that off today after a tremendous bowling performance by Razwan, who took 6 for 7 and is still out there in the middle, now batting with the number 11, because Norway have lost 9 wickets. They've got just the one left. And yet, they need to score another 9 runs.
Close,
You've
but
never
still
seen
far.
You've never seen 9 runs look so big. So a couple of boundaries would change things dramatically. That's how Razwan wants to play it from this point forward. She's been happy to nurdle and to nudge and to pick up the singles, but can she trust her partner out there in the middle? Malapati just goes through wide of off stump, so it's another run to the total. It's another run that Razwan doesn't have to get with the bat. Bit of bounce through to the new keeper. It's Nguyen who's taken the pads and the gloves. She had a go at keeping yesterday, did the first 10 overs versus Germany before coming on to bowl. So she's hit that well. It's gone out to Stolt. They've run through for a single. So Norway now 60 up, 60 for 9. Just 7 to get. It'll be another wide. It's another run to the total.
Norway slowly inching towards that target there. 6 runs needed.
That one's a little bit straighter and very professional forward defensive shot shown by Lopamudra, the number 11 for Norway. Floated up and again pushed out. This will be giving Razwan confidence that she can trust her partner. Pushed through a little harder and the batter couldn't help herself. She had a swing at it. It'll be a dot ball. But I bet you anything, Razwan would have rather that she left that one alone. Floated up and again defended into the onside where Divya is in really quick at short mid-wicket to prevent any chance of a run, and that brings us to the end of that over. Norway 61 for 9, 6 runs to get. This one is on a knife edge. I didn't see it myself. I never thought that this would be how this game played out. I honestly thought Norway would knock this total off without too much trouble. But if there's been a real thumbs up for Finland, it has to be how positive they've been in the field from the very start. They've believed this entire time 66 was enough. They've always believed. Here comes Manu. She is no longer running it. That was a dawdle. So she's not trying to bowl with any pace. Raswan just tapped it into the onside, no run. Really walking up now, but that, I don't necessarily like to see that unless she's injured. Like when a bowler loses their rhythm and they decide that they want to come off a short run, I would much rather that they come off their normal run to try and regain their rhythm again, because it affects your action so much. And she's such a threat with the ball. To see her bowling this slowly now against the set batter, I think is a waste of some really good potential deliveries. I would love to see her running in hard. She's really looping it up. It's hit the pad and rolled out into the leg side where several fielders converge. But even a boundary now would tie the scores up.
Because right now Rizwan is just defending the ball.
That one pushed through, high on the bat, popped into the onside. Fielder running around, she's dropped it. There's a run and some calamitous shies at the stumps at both ends. But it might be the captain who's dropped the ball. I can't quite see all the way down the far end. Might be a finger. Not quite sure what happened out there. Certainly the fielder came running in, got their hands to it. Ball bounced off their chest and away, so it was an unfortunate drop. It would have been the game, but doesn't look like that's the fielder who's down. It looks like it's the bowler. So it looks like the bowler running across for some reason has gotten injured, but she certainly wasn't the one who was trying to take the catch. That was mid-on. So it nearly worked. It was high on the bat, forcing Raswan to play the shot. I'm sure we would have seen some insane celebrations from the Finns had that catch been taken. I think a couple of fielders have swapped positions after that, and it will be the number 11 to face up to the end of this over.
There's also a chance of a run out there as well.
There's a little bit of cricket being played out there as Manu warns the batter from wandering out of her ground. Straight and swing at the ball. Swing and a miss. Nguyen had the bails off quick as a flash. But yes, the running between the wickets off that last delivery wasn't that flash. Raswan made her way down to the other end. And Lopamudra was ball watching. It's pretty straight and defended back to the bowler.
Is Norway getting their fair share of extras coming in to be added to the score? So I would still say no pressure. They're getting an extra, an over.
Yes.
So if you've looked at the last couple of balls, or maybe the last couple of overs, the batters have been more defending the ball, not really going after ball as such. But they, the odd ball here and there, they're getting some runs, and then they're getting the extras in as well. So that's the end of 17 overs. Norway 63 for 9. They need another 4 to win this game, but they're with their last wicket. So it go both ways. Yes.
Well, I thought it was going to be Mulapati to continue from this end, but it looks like she's handed the ball. Yes, it does. It looks like she's handed the ball to Bandani. So, looks like she's going to bowl this one, not Mulapati. Razwan will be on strike. As Mo was just saying, 4 runs for victory for Norway. 1 wicket for Finland.
Will it be this over?
Well, defended straight back down the pitch by Razwan. She has not looked rushed at any point. I don't think there is a player on the Norwegian team who wants this victory more than her. 6 for 7 with the ball earlier today. Oh, she's clever. She just lets it go down the leg side, steps inside the line, and the umpire has no choice. He's got to give it as a wide.
So will these runs come off the bat or will it be extras? Yes.
Well, that one's straight and tap back down the pitch. Razwan just is not in a hurry. No rush. She's kept her head really, really well through this. Tapped into the leg side, no run. I mean, I hate to say it, but the way this game has gone, you could see it being decided on a wide. Forced through. Had a little tickle at that one. Got tempted that time. And she goes back to leaning on her bat.
Both sides, teams in the dugout cheering for each side.
And again, defended back down the wicket. Again, all of those close-in Finnish fielders congregating around the ball. Lots of advice from the captain to the bowler right now. Razwan checks the field. I think she might be looking out to the leg side. This one's well down leg side. That will be another wide.
1 more added to the total.
1 more.
1 needed to tie and 2 needed to win.
And it's down the leg side. That ties the scores up. Finland can't win it. Well, she's done what she's done for the last few overs. It's not going to show on the scorecard that she's been this judicious. It's going to say that she's soaked up a lot of balls, but in reality, she's played some smart cricket, stepping inside the line and allowing those wides down the leg side to accumulate. That brings an end to the over. Scores level. And who's it going to be? Comes on to bowl at the football end. Looks like Ria Kula has the ball. She's going to be the one. Can Finland walk away with a tie?
A little update from Albertslund. Denmark are 59 for 5 at the end of 15 overs. Need another 36 from 30.
Here comes Ria. Defended into the offside by the number 11, Lopamadra. Tapped into the offside again. Divya throwing the body around, prevents any chance of a run. Razwan leaning on her bat down there at the non-striker's end. There isn't a bead of sweat on her brow. She is cool as a cucumber all day long. This one, oh, she's had a big swing of the willow at that one. Didn't come close to connecting once again. The stumps at this end absolutely destroyed by the wicketkeeper.
It's quite a bit of work for the umpires today. having to set the stumps back in place.
So the scores are level. Floats one up outside off, left alone. Well wide, and the umpire has no choice. Given as wide, and that is the end of the game. So, it was a funny old one. Norway have squeaked home by the barest of margins.
It's quite disappointing for the Finns.
It is disappointing for the Finns, but you've got to hand it to them. They were in this game. They made a game of it, where many of us would have written that off. The score of 66 never seemed like it was going to be enough. The fact is, every member of that team believed that they could win this game. And they played hard. And they got real close. Real close. Razwan, of course, was dropped at mid-on just a couple of overs ago. That would have been the game for Finland. As it stands, it's Razwan who will lead the Norwegians into the handshakes, and rightfully so. She has held the batting line up together to nudge them over the line, but more importantly took 6 for 7 with the ball earlier today. Tremendous figures, and undoubtedly the player of the match. Any reflections, Mojo?
It was a good game. Both teams had it going their way for some part of the game, at least. But at the end of the day, Norway won this. But Finland did play quite well too. Again, fielding-wise, there's been lots of catches that were dropped. That would have made the big difference there. And it's also a price to pay. As they say, catches win matches.
They do, although I think it was the Finnish side who had the better fielding unit on the park today. But Norway have squeaked this one. They get the victory, they get the points. And that's what counts in the Nordic T20.
It will be interesting.
Doesn't matter how you win.
Yeah, but it will be interesting. Yeah, it will be interesting to see or hear with regards to the Finnish bowling, as to, what was with bowlers not doing the full run up.
Well, you'll have to go and spend some time with the teams in the nets, Mojo, and ask some of those difficult pointed questions to find out the reasons why. In the end, it didn't really matter too much because they got so very close, but that injury to Stella Sheridan will be one that they'll be worried about. She's one of their absolute key players in the Finnish side and in this tournament. So if she's sprained that ankle or done something worse, then that'll see her drop out of the playing 11, and that will weaken this Finnish side. That will be something they're not too happy about. As for Norway,
so the news just in is that player of the match is Mirab Razwan.
I am shocked. 100% shocked. She was tremendous today. She really, really was. Tremendous with the ball, tremendous with the bat.
She held her nerves.
I think that was one of the things she did the very best. I mean, yes, she took 6 wickets for 7 runs, but it was with the bat. It was the fact that she didn't lose her head, even when all those wickets were falling around her. She just continued to defend. She continued to step inside the line of those balls that were drifting down the leg side. She accumulated as best she could in the situation she was in, and it's her. She is the one who got Norway over the line today. So absolutely well-deserved, and one of the most deserving Player of the Match awards that I've ever seen handed out. So well done to her, and to her friends and family watching at home. Send her a text, I'm sure she would love that. She's done tremendously well.
So before we end this telecast, the next game is to start at 2. Just a minute.
Yes, I dare say that I'm looking forward to lunch, but I'm a simple man of simple means, and the food here in Denmark is very good. In fact, yesterday I discovered that they had a New Zealand pie shop here in Copenhagen called Wild Kiwi Pies, and I helped myself. I went there and I stuffed my face for dinner last night, and then I went to a fancy cheesecake shop. So, yep, the diet is out the window this weekend. I've been so good this year. I've been so good. But, yeah, shed a little tear as I tucked into a steak and cheese and then a butter chicken pie. They had a wonderful selection, and I was probably as happy as I've been in weeks.
Home away
great.
from home, as they say.
Oh, I had no idea they had a New Zealand pie shop here. Gorgeous. So good. So, so good. We lost our pie shop in London through COVID, which is a real bummer. Because there's nothing quite like when you're away from home, if you can get your hands on some of the culinary delights from back in the home country. It gets emotional. I certainly got emotional. I felt bad for the Danish coaches that I was with as I shed a tear eating a pie, because that does look strange. Never mind. But I will be making the most of lunch today, enjoying every second of it. The food here in Denmark is really, really good. Wonderful country.
Great. So that brings us to the end of the coverage for now. We will be back with a new game in about 45 minutes or so.
Just long enough for lunch.
Just long enough for lunch.
Just long enough for lunch. Who have we got on the ground today, Mo? My mistake, Matt. I thought that's what you were looking up. All my notes blew away. You know, when we started this game, the wind was blowing right to left, and I put all my weighted bits and pieces on the desk to put everything in place. And then the wind switched around the other way and got right under everything, blew it all away. All my notes are gone. I'm barely hanging on to this one remaining piece of paper.
Well, the next game that's going to be played here in Ishøj would be Germany versus Norway. And that's starting at 1600 hours. I said 2 before, but it's 1600 hours, so we got a couple of hours in between. And the other game will be in Albertslund, where Denmark play Finland. So there's going to be some logistic movement here.
Yeah, Finland will get themselves dusted off and on the bus.
So that's what's happening in the next couple of hours. So we will have a new stream coming up on YouTube at 1600 hours.
And we'll have to see if Norway take the confidence out of this game into a very tough draw against a German side who will, well, they were very impressive yesterday. I think Norway are going to find them to be a very different kettle of fish. So we'll remain to see what the outcome of that game is. Can Norway pull an upset?
Can they pull an upset?
They certainly they pulled the iron from the fire in this game. Amazing stuff. Yeah, they inched over the line. But yes, Germany will be a tough, tough side. And how will Finland go over there against the Danes, who seem to be struggling against the Swedes just a short time ago? If Finland have as many injuries as it looks like they may do, then they might not be putting their best 11 on the park. And that could be trouble against a Danish side who, win, lose or draw, will be pumped up after this morning's effort against Sweden.
So looking at the points table, we have Sweden at the top, Germany and Norway. And this is also based on the net run rate as well. All three teams have 2 points each. Denmark yet to open the score, but that game is underway at the moment.
Yep, just a quick update before we go, eh?
Yes, Denmark is 73 for 5 in the 18th over. Need 22 from 14. Lene Østergaard is in the middle with 15, and Anita Dalgaard with 2. So they're moving on.
Well, they're going to need to find the boundary. That's what they're going to need to do.
The experienced players, a lot of experience with Line Østergaard, having played for Denmark for many years. And Nita is also quite a handy left-hander as well. So that's happening in Albertslund. And hopefully we will have a result soon. But that being said, it's time to end this transmission, and then for us to walk across to the pavilion for lunch and also the presentation ceremony that Alex Olsen, CEO of DCF, is about to conduct. The slight delay was with the Finnish players having a little chat in the middle with the coaching staff. So yes, thanks so much for this session here. We will regroup in about 2-3 hours for the next game. So until then, we would wish you all a very good afternoon and hope to see you in a couple of hours.